Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Cal Westis Podcast. Today we have another special guest, Nick.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show, or you haven't been on it.
I don't think I've ever been here, no.
Welcome to the show.
Finally.
Yeah, I like doing these video podcasts. I want to do more of them.
It's cool, yeah.
It's just...
Got all the props set up and what
are
we talking about?
Today we're gonna get into some of these props today. Don't you worry. But it's great to have you here, man.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to doing more of these. Just the hard part is like finding people that like know Star Wars and are talented to bring on the show.
Sure.
So yeah, we're happy to have you here, man. You're very talented. You're very good at what you do, and you're a good buddy of mine as well. Nick helped with a lot of the props in KESTIS, and so we're going to be breaking that down today and what that looks like. So why don't you tell us about your company?
So hi, everyone. I'm Nick. I'm the owner of Custom Galactic Supplies, or CGS Props. I'm a costume and prop fabricator and painter. I specialize in 3D files, custom work, and I do replicas as well.
Very nice, man. And as you can tell, we'll probably throw some B-roll up for those of you watching the video version of like just the details that he puts into like all these props around us, because they're all just like amazing.
You have to watch the video version if we're in the studio recording.
Right.
Like, you gotta.
You have to. So if you are listening to this as an audio person,
what are you doing?
You're silly. You're a little silly person, because we have an amazing looking studio right now full of awesome Star Wars characters and props. So hop on YouTube. Yeah. Sorry for yelling. That was loud. So anyways, let's get into this episode. Okay, so I know how you got involved with Zach and the foretelling and all that stuff, but why don't you tell everybody who doesn't know?
So, I don't remember what year it is, so I'm not going to even attempt that, but when the foretelling was kind of being in the process of filming, Zach Golden reached out to me saying like, oh, I love your Mandalorian costume. Do you want to come over to our final day of shooting and be in a short little post-credit scene as your own character? And so I don't know why I would turn down that opportunity. And I'm glad that I didn't, because after that came out, a few years later, he asked me to come back, but to not only to reprise my role as Dax Rinzler, my original Mandalorian character, but also to be the head specialty costumer for many of the props and costumes you see in KESTIS.
Very cool, man. And in a lot of ways, like you stepped up how KESTIS looks and how it feels, because it has that real Star Wars vibe to it. One of the sweetest compliments we got on KESTIS was like that it felt like a Disney Plus show, and that's a tribute to you and your work and the skill level that you bring to that.
Thank you.
So how long have you been working on props like this?
Ooh, I believe it all started a long
time ago in a galaxy far.
I was trying not to go there. It got a little cheesy. But I want to say it was 2015. A family friend of ours put up like a picture of his own Mandalorian costume on Facebook, and my mom showed me a picture and was like, oh my god, look how cool this is. So I'm just like, well, you got to message him now saying I want one, and he should make me one. And so rather than him just making one and me putting it on, he actually showed me how to make the templates for it, how to cut them out of the material at that point. And from there I got into 3D printing, started my business around 2018 or 2019, I believe. And from there, yeah, just got into more molding, casting, more 3D printing. Now I have resin printers.
So you say cutting it out of the material. What was it made of?
The brand is called Sintra, but it's basically like a very thin piece of PVC pipe.
Huh.
It's like PVC pipe rolled out. You can cut it out with a box cutter, heat it up, and shape it to yourself.
Okay. It sounds delicate.
No, it's actually pretty strong. Much stronger than, I don't know about that, but I'll send you some pictures. You can put some lovely photos up for the viewers at home.
Yeah. So you audio listeners, again, what are you doing? Pull us up on YouTube. But yeah, I'll throw some pics up if you send them to me.
Mm-hmm.
let's see. For those like wanting to start, like to get into prop making, to get into costume building or cosplay or whatever, what are your like bits of advice for them and like?
That's a good question because there's so many avenues you can go in. Like one of the biggest, I think, materials for people that are starting out is EVA foam because there's so many cosplayers out there using that as their base. So that's a great option because you can do the same thing with Sintra, but it's a much cheaper option than something like a hard plastic would be. So you go on to, I don't know if they still have them, but when I started out, the Mandalorian Mercs Costume Club, they have a website, and you can basically print out the templates for Mandalorian armor to whatever height specifications you are. Print them out, cut them out, lay them down on whatever the material you're using, and then trace them and cut them out, form whatever. But nowadays, too, 3D printers are getting so affordable that that's also a really good way to start, too, if you're wanting to start out. So EVA foam, definitely the cheaper option out of like anything I think I can think of. 3D printers are getting cheaper, and I think it's a really good gateway to doing anything you want. You're kind of limitless almost with that technology.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been watching like my channel for a while, you know that you guys know that I'm a big Boba Fett guy, and like a while back I made like a Book of Boba Fett kit, and that was all 3D printed, and that was like my first step. I didn't do the EVA foam or anything like that, and Nick was like a big helper with that project. Like I would text him and be like, hey man, like how do I do this certain thing, and he would like send me a video and whatnot. So like there is like a learning curve there, like for sure to kind of like get into that, because I made a first Boba Fett kit, which you saw, and then ended up like redoing it later. And so like that kind of leads me into my next thing is like how have you seen your skill level like improve, because you've been doing this for a long time with like a bunch of different mediums and stuff.
So definitely a lot, to put it lightly. My very, very first piece of armor before I kind of did the whole Sintra route, it was, I don't remember what they're called, but they're basically like plastic envelopes, like you can put like papers in or whatever. I think I have a picture of that too I can send you. It's a lovely, lovely piece of artist craftsmanship. But it was basically that, and then I duct tape it for color. So it was like green duct tape. And then I wore it to Star Wars weekends, I think.
Okay. Back when those were a thing.
A long time ago, for sure. And then now it's resin casts and like high quality paints that I believe they're actually using on the shows. At least I know. So I'm using the Montana brand of paints, and I believe that's what they actually used on the Rogue One Stormtroopers. Yeah. But
looking at it now, it kind of does have that. Like if the Rogue One Stormtrooper color was matte, like it does kind of have that vibe to it. I can see that. Very cool. I think I used the Montana stuff on Boba.
Yeah, I think that's what I recommended to you. Because even between I think a year apart, the helmet next to you, I repainted that one specifically for Kestis. And so I think that I did that about a year ago. And then I think just the difference between these two also, I think it's kind of night and day to me, at least.
Yeah. I mean, that one's better.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He just finished that a couple days ago, right?
Yeah.
So that is like the latest from Mr. CGS Props, but like the fact that you're looking at this one and being like,
I'm not saying it's bad, but I mean, in comparison, there's definitely things about this one, especially the type of paint that I used on it. It makes it, I don't know, it just makes it feel like it's more from the show.
Yeah, it does look a little bit more realistic.
Yeah. Because it has like that weird semi-gloss feel.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
They're both incredible. They're both incredible. But I do see what you mean. I do like that one more too. I like the white. I feel like blue is a very, even though if I were gonna like do my own Mando, it would totally be blue as well. But blue is like a very like used color when it comes to like custom Mandos and stuff. So I think the white was like
it makes it stand out for sure.
Yeah.
And then with the skull and
definitely with the skull.
Yeah.
It's sick, dude. I remember when you first added the skull to this one, because in like Dax and the Foretelling, is a different look than in Kestis.
He got an upgrade.
Right, and like one of the big things, like I remember, I think you might have sent it to Zach, and then Zach sent it to me. But when you first updated from the OG Dax helmet to this one, and you kind of added that like skull on there, I was like, oh my goodness, that's clean. And that one is just even better. Yeah, it got even cleaner. So yeah, dude, I saw the pictures that you put on your Instagram of the new kit, and after this podcast, we're gonna get some good looking photos as well. But I'm excited to see it in person, because that's really when like it hits you like there's a Mandalorian in front of me. You know what I mean?
And with the working rangefinder and stuff.
And with the why don't you show them that? Or do you need the gauntlet?
Yeah, I mean, it'll take a few minutes to set up, but...
Okay, at the end,
I'll grab the gauntlet. Yeah,
grab the gauntlet, and we'll like edit that together. Yeah, dude, your stuff is next level. It's next level. So what was your... Because you, like I said, you made a lot of stuff for Kestis, probably about like 60-70% of the costumes, maybe, would you say?
I feel like that's a bit generous, because I mean a lot of them were volunteers, like the Mandalorians. So I think total I made 4, not including mine, 4 costumes maybe. Starkiller, Barden, Marin, Phelan,
Dax.
If you count Dax and the 2 background characters. Okay, that's 7. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, that's... Because, like, who else? You had Jackson Drev, right?
Yeah.
And then Mando Cowboy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 out of 9?
That's true. I didn't make yours, though, also.
Okay, so 2 out...
And I guess if you want to count all the background, because I threw them together, not threw them together. Oh,
and
on
Eli,
set, but
Eli's armor too.
Oh yeah, Eli.
Well, you did make Eli's like new kit, but like not the one that's in Kestis.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'd say about 70%.
Okay.
70%, I'd say. So like a lot of the stuff in Kestis was like all you, man. So what was your favorite? Because there's a wide variety of characters there.
I don't know. I gotta it's either between Marin or Starkiller, just because they were very custom projects to do. Like with Marin, I thrifted her boots, but then I added like the whole like upper section that the actress could wrap around, and it makes it look more Star Warsy. You got the greeblies in it.
Yeah.
Her shirt was completely custom as well as her belt. I think her belt's here. We just didn't put it up, but. Her belt, I modeled the different pieces of it. I had someone else print it, 'cause at that time it was shortly after the hurricane that I actually started working on a lot of these props, so I didn't have a lot of equipment at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a friend of ours, Max Pace, PMP's Den. He printed a lot of stuff for me. That was really helpful. And then the belt itself was actually EVA foam wrapped in like a pleather material and then stitched around the edges to make it actually look like leather.
Okay, so I was on set. I saw the thing. I held the thing. I thought it was real leather this whole time.
Really?
I really did.
Wait, hold on. Wait a second.
Max Pace, PMP's Den of Antiquities. It's a great channel. He does a lot of like fun live streams and stuff. I'm going to drop a link in the description to his channel below for you guys to go check out. But, okay, so here, yeah. Now that I know, like
look at the inside.
Yeah. You can't deny that. Show the camera.
So this is...
Show the side camera, actually.
All right. So this is the outside. It's got like the 3D printed piece that I modeled, and then this is the inside. It's just EVA foamed wrapped in the pleather, and then it's stitched with a oh god, it was like, I think it was a polyester thread, so it has like the nice thick stitches to emulate like leather stitching. And then these are my favorite part. These little brass knobs right here are, I don't remember what they're called either, but they're basically just what are those called?
Don't you use those to like hold
like paper together? Yeah. They're like just those like little, like, I don't know what they're called, but I don't know, they like split like that. They're like round at the top. And then I did that as well, so this would be removable in case it broke or anything. I could easily repaint it or anything like that. So this is why it's one of my favorite costumes, just because of this aspect right here.
Well, even that like feels very Star Wars, because you know they were doing stuff like that when like the originals were, and probably like even now with like the prequels and sequels, they're probably still just like
even
kid
with
bashing.
even with the Mandalorian, there was a screenshot that someone found that in season 3 when they're climbing like the big rock to get I think his name's Ragnar, Paz Vizsla's son, back.
Yeah.
Paz Vizsla's gauntlet is zip tied shut. You can see the zip ties going around the outside of it. So something happened on set and they needed a quick fix. So
that's actually hilarious.
Yeah. And then, so for Starkiller, it was a lot of, Max also helped out, that he actually modeled the shoulders for me and had them printed, as well as the thighs, I believe, too. The gauntlets he modified from some pre-existing ones we found. And then the chest itself is vacuum formed, as well as the back. And the helmet is also 3D printed. But the thing I really wanted to do with the chest is to make it, instead of having like this like semi-gloss appearance around the whole thing, I wanted there to be some texture in it somewhere. And I'm not going to try to turn around because I feel like it might fall, but the back half has like this like very clear like line of separation between like the top half and the bottom half. So I added like this rough texture to kind of have it pop more when the light hits it certain ways. And so I also emulated that on the front, on this bottom portion, and then through this, just to have it a little different.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I think it just added a bit more to it, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, you know, when like me and Zach were recording the duel and stuff like that, you know, there's just something to be said about standing on a beach, like getting ready to fight Starkiller, and like part of the reason that it felt the way that it did was because it's him, bro. Like you took this and you know, Zach kind of threw some concept art together and gave it to you, and you were like, I can make that, and it's real, bro. Like Starkiller was on the beach, like across from me. Like I felt it. Like I felt like when Ewan McGregor is, you know, when they were filming Kenobi or whatever, and he was like when Vader like walks onto set, like everyone's quiet and you can just feel the mood change. And not that Starkiller is as intimidating as Darth Vader, but like it's that same effect. And so like, and again, just another testament to like the craftsmanship here. It just feels like real Star Wars. Like I'm looking at it and it's here, man. So yeah, like just it's just another level. Like even the leather straps like holding it together, you know, it's insane.
Well, the cool part. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say this is probably my favorite costume to come out of Kestis.
Thank you. And the cool thing about like having like you said, the straps and stuff, was the original concept for this for Starkiller's armor is based off of the Inquisitor Cal Westis costume, because we wanted that the mirror between the two during the film. And the original costume had his chest and back plate as Phase 2 Clone Trooper armor. We had a difficult time trying to acquire that, so we opted for Imperial Scout Trooper chest and back, and it worked out a lot better because the maneuverability in Scout Trooper armor versus Clone Trooper armor is much higher, so Zach was able to pull off better stunts with it. So I'm glad that kind of issue came up because it helped us further along while filming. And so the Scout Troopers actually have these straps connecting them, so it works out that it's just what they have.
That's awesome. I didn't even realize that they actually had those straps.
Yeah,
because it just fits the whole like Inquisitor vibe, like Vader vibe is a little bit of that black leather. So yeah, it's a beautiful costume, man. It did the job well. I think a lot of people were like, they walked away from Kestis like satisfied with Starkiller.
That's what I'm seeing and hearing so far. Yeah.
And half of that is the look. You know what I mean? Like there's a portion of that that's acting, there's voice acting, but like the look is important.
For sure.
You know, that's how we market the movie. You know what I mean? It's like we throw this guy on a poster. So yeah, just incredible job, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I kind of just want to sit here and look at it. Like I don't even really want to talk about it anymore. I just want to.
Him in his crop top.
His little belly button hanging out. Yeah, it's a good look though. Maybe we should have had Zach like this in the actual movie.
Maybe
just shirtless.
Those views would be skyrocketing.
They probably would. All right, Kestis 3. It's happening. Starkiller's back. He's got scars all over his body.
Yeah, the spoiler, the Star Destroyer only ripped off his fabric clothes. All the armor's still there.
He's maybe got like a big dent, like a big Boba Fett crater, like right here in his head, from where the Star Destroyer collided. But other than that, yep, it's just armor. No shirt, no pants. Sexy Star Wars. I like it. Okay, so show me this motorized rangefinder here.
So, I guess you want to press it. You get to guess what button it is. There's two. One does nothing.
Hang on. Are these metal pieces here?
Nope, painted. I know, I'm getting good, right?
Jeez, dude. That's insane. All the like little wires and stuff in here too are pretty cool.
Those are functional.
I don't know if y'all can see down in there. But okay, so it's one of these two buttons.
Yeah. You chose wrong.
I lost.
50-50 chance.
What's the knight say in The Last Crusade on your sweatshirt? You chose
poorly.
All right, here we go. Oh, good lord. Oh, and there's a little light on the inside.
Yeah, there's lights too.
Well, I saw the red light.
Oh yeah.
But is there a white light?
Yeah, there's a white light on the inside. So basically, this helmet was not very compatible with this system. So this helmet comes from, the cast comes from Dirty Rogue Designs, and he is an expert craftsmanship all around. And these are actually lineage casted helmets, so this is basically what they wore on The Mandalorian. And the issue with that was that since these were grunts, the ears were casted solid directly onto the helmet so both sides basically looked like this and are completely solid on the, well, you can't see that because there's foam over it. But, and how they did it in The Mandalorian was they basically made a slot just on the top and just stuck a piece of metal with the rangefinder because they didn't have to move. They were basically stunt helmets. And so basically what I had to do is I guess it's easier to do this. Take a Dremel. Oh my god, this is so... There we go. Take a Dremel, slowly Dremel out the inside of this ear until the stock could fit, and because there's a round portion of the stock at the bottom so it can actually spin. And then I had to Dremel out this portion of the ear so I can have access to it in case it ever breaks, fails, I can remove it easier. And then this little ear cap piece I basically modeled using the original one for reference with magnetic pieces so it clips right on, and it generally looks like that side. And then
I would never be able to tell.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the same thing for the actual rangefinder itself. The one it came with the helmet kit was completely solid. It was just like the normal casted top with like a clear bottom like this, and that wouldn't work either because I wanted lights in it. So I basically modeled one completely from scratch, resin printed it in both just a standard gray for the top part, but then I started experimenting with some clear resin. So that's how I got the bottom part, and it actually, no, I'm not going to take it out right now. But it basically, the clear part is magnetically attached to the top part, so I can have access to the lights that are inside to swap out batteries or whatever if I need. So yeah, that was a fun challenge to overcome too. It was a cool learning curve, though.
You talk about it like it's just another day. Like you're over here building like functional rangefinders on this thing.
The servo itself, I am not savvy with electronics at all. I can maybe solder a light to something, but in terms of having functionality with it and blinking, that's not my game. I'm a painter. So this servo kit comes from Neo Prop Shop, I believe. He's got some great stuff, even ones with a light kit. But I had a separate one that I put right in there. But yeah,
it's insane, dude. Let's do it one more time for the camera. Oh shoot,
we weren't close enough. There we go. Ah, it's so satisfying.
Clean. Like
right?
I even like the little like noise it makes. It's just
You want to do it again while you're staring at it?
Yep. Hang on. All right, he's looking at me. Boom! Here comes the
rocket.
Jetpack rocket. When Dax gets a jetpack one day.
Soon.
Okay, cool. God, that's beautiful. Dude.
Right?
It's it's such a flex too. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it feels amazing when you have it on and you just kind of like, you know, do the whole Mando thing and you pull up your gauntlet and you're like, boop.
It's funny though because I guess the receiver or something in here doesn't reach quite right. So when I have it on, I have to like pull the top part up and then hit it, and then it works. Because if I just have it on and I just tap it, and it doesn't really work because I don't know, it just doesn't receive it right. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
cool.
it's freaking cool, dude.
It's definitely gonna be a showstopper tomorrow at MegaCon.
Oh
I think.
yeah, oh yeah. I've seen some of them like people just go in like insane with their stuff, and I've seen a couple Boba Fett cosplayers that have like functioning jetpacks with like steam.
That's
and like
the dream.
It's how in the world
Yeah.
do you even do that? Like, is there a gas chamber or something in the actual jetpack that puts out the steam, or?
So there's two ways that people do it. One is basically modifying like a vape canister, basically.
Boba Fett with a jewel.
They basically add some stuff to it, take some stuff out of it to basically make it so it puffs smoke. But another way people do it to make like a faster stream is basically using like air dusters. And if you've ever, I do it all the time, it's so fun. But if you ever turn them upside down and then pull a trigger, it like emits this white smoke fog thing. And I know a lot of people that do that. They put like a few of those canisters in their jetpack and then have them all hooked up to like some sort of a remote switch.
Keep talking. Hang on a second.
So they basically have them all lined up, hooked up to a remote switch. When they hit something, the lights turn on, they do sound, and they just shoot out of the bottom. If I ever do a jetpack, that would be...
Is this it?
Yeah!
Turn it upside down. Oh.
Is it locked?
Is it?
Yeah, it has one of the pulley tabs in it. Oh, shit.
Jeez, dude. I did not even know that. Oh, that one's kind of leaking on the top.
It doesn't smell great, though, and it leaves your taste buds like there's something chemically on them.
Nom, 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 nom. Dude, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's fun to just like... Oh, God, it's getting everywhere. It also is...
Hands up, Jedi.
It's also very cold because it's just compressed air.
Yeah, I
so
felt
when
it a little bit there.
So that could... I don't know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think when you get Dax a jetpack and you inevitably decide to start doing
We'll
this,
do it together.
I'll do it with
We'll
you,
do
and
it
I'll do it
twice.
on my Boba jetpack.
All right.
So,
Is yours hollow?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Give me 1 second. Keep going. It's right in this room. We'll pull that out real quick. Because it has like a hole, kind of. In it. It's like that's got to be hollow, at least in some
Well, because
parts.
it's 3D printed, it's going to sound hollow because usually with 3D prints, there's a wall thickness of a few millimeters, and then the inside is technically hollow, but it's solid with like infill to make it more strong.
Gotcha. And that's not easily...
I mean, no, you can definitely carve it out with like a Dremel and stuff. Yeah, it's possible.
So
Not knocking your idea.
I'm assuming they put the cans like in this part and
Basically,
it will shoot out
yeah.
the side of the
I haven't
thruster or
looked
whatever?
into it too much, but yeah, I think that's the gist of it.
Let's do it, man. Let me know when you get your jet.
God.
We'll tear this thing apart. Well, I think that's gonna wrap up the episode. I don't have any more questions for you. I mean,
Wow,
honestly,
okay.
like you're incredible. You're an incredible artist. So go support him. Tell them where they can follow you and find you. And
So the easiest place is on Instagram at CGS_props. From there, you can you have access to my link tree, which has my Etsy, my portfolio, any information you basically want on me. That's probably a weird way to put that, but it's out there now. I'm also selling a lot of the costume pieces from the film still. Starkiller's helmet is already sold and is being shipped out soon. However, the rest of his armor, it's still for sale. It's going to be up on my Etsy soon, but because of fees and such that Etsy takes, I'm selling them currently on just directly through my Instagram. I have that post pinned, so with all the prices along with pictures for each item. So if you find something that interests you, definitely message me and we can definitely work something out. For props, I believe, like I mentioned, I have Kestis' armor, Starkiller's armor. The model ship we used for the Strata Clan homestead, and some various Mandalorian armor bits.
But all of that is like on your Instagram or on your Etsy at the moment.
At the moment, it's on my Instagram and with prices and all, and you can just message me if you find one interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they'll probably go up on Etsy like within a week or two, maybe.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Well, you guys know where you can find some of this stuff. Go support Nick. He deserves it. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check out Kestis, a Jedi Survivor Story. You can find it on the YouTube channel called Gen 1, GEN number 1. Yeah, a lot of people worked really, really hard on it, including Nick and myself. So go support that. And if you want to take it a step further, check out gen1merch.com and buy a Kestis-themed shirt. Any of the funds that are provided by you guys supporting and buying a shirt goes towards putting that movie into film festivals where we can win awards, and the actors, who want to do this for full time, and people like Zach and Rachel DeBiccaro who worked hard to bring this thing to life as directors and assistant directors, can get the recognition that they deserve, and can make a name for themselves in the film industry. So any donation, any purchase that is made on Gen 1 merch is super appreciated, and all of it goes to supporting the people that worked their tails off to get this thing out there. So I think that's all we got, man.
No questions this week?
Questions? What do you mean?
For like write-ins.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess
I'm running this podcast now, everyone. Jeez.
I totally forgot about that.
It's a Dax Rinsler podcast.
Well, I recorded an episode the other day for
okay.
Kestis being out, so I don't have any
That's
mail-ins
right.
yet.
Gotcha, okay.
And I don't think we did that on the episode with Zach and Rachel either.
I was just wondering.
I kind of suck at this. How long have I been doing this? Oh, that doesn't matter. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like, or listening, if you would like to mail in, you can do so by emailing to walmartcalkestis@gmail.com. Any questions, topics, anything you want to have read aloud on the podcast and answered or talked about can be done by emailing walmartcalkestis@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. May the Force be with you, always.